The checks are coming, and if you've been counting on that extra money hitting your account, you need to know exactly when it's arriving. The Social Security Administration just released the official payment schedule, and there's critical information you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Right now, millions of Americans are asking the same questions. Is this payment really $2,500? Kto kwalifikuje? And most importantly, when will your deposit actually show up in your bank account? Here's what's happening. The SSA operates on a strict payment calendar based on your birth date and benefit type. And understanding this system means the difference between planning ahead and being caught off guard. Some recipients will see their money as early as the 3rd of this month, while others won't receive deposits until the 4th Wednesday, and here's where it gets confusing. If you're receiving SSI, your schedule is completely different from regular Social Security retirement benefits. Mayor. Breaking down every single payment date, explaining exactly who gets what and when, and showing you how to verify your specific deposit schedule. No fluff, no clickbait, just the real facts you need from the official Social Security Administration guidelines. Let me be completely honest with you right from the start, because there's a lot of confusion swirling around about this $2,500 payment, and I want to make sure you have the absolute truth before we go any further. The reality is that not everyone is going to receive exactly $2,500 in their Social Security deposit this month. That number represents the maximum possible payment for certain beneficiaries under specific circumstances, and understanding where you fall in this payment structure is absolutely essential. The Social Security Administration has indeed announced the payment dates for this month, and those dates are locked in and official, but the amount you receive depends entirely on your work history, when you claimed benefits, and what type of Social Security payment you're actually receiving. Now, let's talk about what's really happening with Social Security payments right now, because this is where things get interesting and where you need to pay very close attention. The Social Security Administration operates on a payment schedule that has been in place for years. And this schedule is based on a very specific system that takes into account your date of birth and the type of benefits you're receiving. If you're receiving supplemental security income, which is commonly known as SSI, your payment schedule is entirely different from someone who's otrzymywanie regularnych emerytur lub ubezpieczenia na wypadek niepełnosprawności społecznej. This is one of the biggest points of confusion that I see among beneficiaries, and it's causing people to panic when their money doesn't arrive on the date they expected. For those of you who are receiving SSI benefits, your payments always arrive on the first day of the month, but here's the catch that trips people up every single time. If the first day of the month falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, the Social Security Administration moves that payment to the last business day of the previous month. This means that sometimes you'll actually receive your payment before the month even begins, which can be confusing if you're not aware of how the system works. The maximum SSI payment for an individual in 2025 is $967 per month, and for couples it's $1,450. So if you're seeing numbers that are significantly higher than this, you need to understand that you might be receiving back payments, a cost of living adjustment catch-up, or there might be some other factor at play that's increasing your monthly benefit amount. Now, when we talk about regular Social Security retirement benefits, this is where that $2,500 number starts to make more sense for certain individuals. The average Social Security retirement benefit right now is sitting at around $1,976 per month. But if you worked in high-earning positions throughout your career, delayed claiming your benefits until age 70, and maximized your earnings in those critical 35 years that Social Security uses to calculate your benefit amount, you could absolutely be looking at payments that reach or even exceed $2,500 per month. The absolute maximum Social Security retirement benefit for someone who retired at full retirement age in 2025 is $3,822 per month, and if you delayed until age 70, that maximum benefit jumps up to $4,873 per month. So when people see headlines about $2,500 payments, they need to understand that this falls right in that middle range of what's possible depending on your individual circumstances. The payment schedule for regular Social Security retirement benefits is where things get a bit more complicated. But once you understand the system, it actually makes perfect sense and you'll never be confused about when your money is coming again. The Social Security Administration divides recipients into 4 different groups based on their date of birth. Iyon, Каждая группа получает свою оплату на определенной неделе месяца. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May 1997, you're in a special category, and your payments always arrive on the third day of the month, regardless of when you were born. This is important because there's a significant number of long-term beneficiaries who fall into this category, and they often get confused when they hear about the birth date payment schedule because it doesn't apply to them at all. For everyone else who started receiving benefits after May 1997, your payment date is determined by the day of the month you were born, and this system is designed to spread out the processing load for the Social Security Administration while ensuring that everyone receives their money in a predictable and consistent pattern. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your Social Security payment arrives on the second Wednesday of every month without exception. If your birthday falls between the 11th and 15th, the 20th of the month, you can expect your direct deposit to hit your account on the third Wednesday, and if you were born between the 21st and the 31st of the month, your payment date is the fourth Wednesday of every month. Understanding this schedule is absolutely critical because it allows you to plan your finances, know exactly when bills can be paid, and avoid any anxiety about whether your payment is late or if something has gone wrong with your account. I've talked to countless seniors who call the Social Security Administration in a panic because their payment didn't arrive on the same day as their neighbor's payment, only to find out that they simply have a different birth dates and therefore different payment schedules. This is completely normal and exactly how the system is designed to work. Now let's address something that causes enormous confusion and concern among Social Security recipients, and that's the issue of delayed payments or payments that seem to arrive at unexpected times. There are several legitimate reasons why your payment might not arrive exactly when you expect it, and understanding these reasons can save you hours of frustration and unnecessary worry. First and foremost, if your scheduled payment date falls on a federal holiday or a weekend, the Social Security Administration will move your payment to the last business day before that holiday or weekend. This is actually working in your favor because it means you'll receive your money earlier rather than later. But if you're not aware of this policy, you might be looking for your payment on the wrong date and thinking something has gone wrong. Another factor that can affect your payment timing is if there's any kind of issue with your bank or financial institution. While the Social Security Administration processes and sends out payments with remarkable consistency and reliability, once that money leaves their system and enters the banking system, there can occasionally be delays based on how quickly your specific bank processes incoming deposits. Most major banks and credit unions will post Social Security direct deposits on the same day they're received, but some smaller institutions might take дополнительный рабочий день для обработки этих транзакций. This is why I always recommend that people check with their bank about their specific policies for posting government benefit deposits. There's also the matter of what happens if you're new to Social Security and you're receiving your very first payment. Pierwsze płatności mogą czasami trwać dłużej niż regularne monthly payments because the Social Security Administration is setting up your account in their system, verifying all of your information and ensuring that everything is calculated correctly. If you've just been approved for benefits, don't be alarmed if your first payment doesn't follow the regular schedule exactly. It can sometimes take up to 3 months from the date of approval for your first payment to arrive, and this is completely normal and expected within the system. Let's talk about something else that's incredibly important and that many people don't fully understand, and that's the relationship between your payment amount and the various factors that can cause it to increase or decrease from month to month. Your Social Security payment isn't necessarily going to be exactly the same amount every single month, even though that's what most people expect. There are several things that can cause variations in your payment amount, and knowing what these are can prevent confusion and concern when you see a number that's different from what you anticipated. The most common reason for payment variations is the annual cost of living adjustment, which is commonly referred to as COA. Every year, the Social Security Administration adjusts the cost of living. Security Administration analyzes inflation data and determines whether beneficiaries should receive an increase in their monthly payments to help offset the rising cost of goods and services. When a COLA is announced, it typically takes effect in January, and you'll see your payment amount increase accordingly. For 2025, there was a cost of living adjustment that increased benefits, and this is one reason why some people might be seeing higher payment amounts than they received in previous years. Another factor that can affect your payment amount is if you're still working while receiving Social Security benefits and you haven't yet reached your full retirement age. The Social Security Administration has earnings limits that determine how much you can earn from work before they start reducing your monthly benefit. If you exceed these earnings limits, the SSA will withhold a portion of your benefits, and this can cause your payment to be lower than expected, or even to stop temporarily until the next year when the earnings test is recalculated. However, it's important to understand that this money isn't lost forever. Once you reach your full retirement age, the Social Security Administration will recalculate your benefit to give you credit for the months when your payments were reduced or withheld. Medicare premiums are another major factor that affects the actual amount of money that lands in your bank account each month. If you're enrolled in Medicare Part B, and most Social Security recipients are, the premium for that coverage is automatically deducted from your Social Security payment before the money is deposited into your account. For 2025, the standard Medicare Part B premium is $185 per month. But if you're a higher income beneficiary, you might be paying more due to income-related monthly adjustment amounts, which are commonly called IRMA. This means that even if your gross Social Security benefit is $2,500, the actual amount you receive could be several hundred less after Medicare premiums are deducted. There are also other potential deductions that can come out of your Social Security payment, and being aware of these can help you understand why your net payment might be less than the gross benefit amount you're entitled to. Jeśli masz federalne podatki na swoje świadczenia emerytalne, and you've chosen to have taxes withheld, that will reduce your monthly payment. If you have outstanding debts to federal agencies, such as unpaid student loans or back taxes, the government has the authority to garnish your Social Security payments to satisfy those debts, although there are limits to how much they can take. And if you're paying premiums for voluntary insurance programs like Medicare Part D, prescription drug coverage, or Medicare supplement insurance, those premiums might also be deducted from your Social Security payment if you've set up automatic deductions. Now, I want to address something that I see causing a tremendous amount of confusion and even leading people to fall victim to scams, and that's the misinformation that spreads on social media about special one-time payments, emergency payments, or bonus payments from Social Security. Let me be absolutely clear about this. The Social Security Administration does not send out surprise payments or special bonuses without announcing them well in advance through official channels. If you see a post on Facebook or a video claiming that there's a secret $2,500 payment coming that the government doesn't want you to know about, that is not legitimate information. The SSA announces all payment changes, including cost of living adjustments and any special payments, through their official website and through formal press releases. They will never contact you through social media, and they will never ask you to provide personal information or pay a fee to receive a benefit that you're entitled to. This brings me to something incredibly important that every Social Security recipient needs to understand, and that's how to protect yourself from scams and fraud targeting seniors. Scammers know that Social Security recipients are receiving regular monthly income, and they've developed increasingly sophisticated schemes to try to steal that money or get access to your personal information. The most common scam involves someone calling you and claiming to be from the bank, Social Security Administration, telling you that there's a problem with your account or that your benefits are going to be suspended unless you take immediate action. Let me tell you right now that this is never how the Social Security Administration operates. If there's a legitimate issue with your account, you will receive official correspondence through the mail, and you will never be threatened with immediate suspension of benefits over the phone. If you receive a call like this, hang up immediately and report it to the Social Security Administration's fraud hotline. The best way to stay informed about your Social Security benefits and to ensure that you have accurate information about your payment dates and amounts is to create a My Social Security account on the official SSA website. This free online account gives you access to your Social Security statement, allows you to verify your earnings history, shows you estimates of your future benefits, and provides you with a clear breakdown of your current payment amount and when it's scheduled to arrive. You can also use your My Social Security account to change your address, set up, or change direct deposit information, request a replacement Social Security card, and get a benefit verification letter that you might need for loan applications or other financial purposes. Setting up this account takes just a few minutes, and it gives you 24-hour access to your information without having to call the Social Security Administration or visit a local office. I also want to make sure you understand what to do if you're expecting a Social Security payment and it doesn't arrive when it's supposed to. The first thing you should do is check the official Social Security payment schedule to confirm that you're looking for your payment on the correct date. Remember that payment dates can shift due to weekends and holidays, so make sure you're accounting for those adjustments. Если вы подтвердили, что ваш платеж должен был прийти и он hasn't, wait at least 3 business days before contacting the Social Security Administration because sometimes there can be minor delays in processing that resolve themselves within that time frame. If 3 business days have passed and you still haven't received your payment, you should call the Social Security Administration at their toll-free number, which is 1-800-772-1213. Music, and speak with a representative who can look into your specific situation and determine what's happened with your platesh. The truth about Social Security payments is that the system is actually remarkably reliable and consistent once you understand how it works. Miliony Amerykanów otrzymują swoje świadczenia co miesiąc bez żadnych problemów. And the direct deposit system ensures that money arrives safely and securely without the risk of lost or stolen checks. The key to avoiding stress and confusion is simply to understand your personal payment schedule. Know what amount you should expect to receive and be aware of the factors that can cause legitimate variations in your payment. By staying informed and using official resources like the Social Security Administration website and your My Social Security account, you can ensure that you always know exactly when your money is coming and that you're receiving every dollar you're entitled to receive.